You know why I love plants so much, my little plant friends? Well, no drama. They're pretty easygoing. I mean, they can be temperamental at times, but once you kind of know what they like, it gets easier. Would you like to meet some of my plant friends? Come on, I'll introduce you. This is Jack. I'm actually fostering him for my boyfriend's aunt. This is Clarabelle. These are some bell peppers I kept alive through the winter somehow, and they're actually starting to flower. Beautiful, beautiful marigolds. Here's a jalapeno I grew from a seed from a jalapeno I ate. This is a bush tomato, unnamed at this point, and it sprouted off this little baby, so I planted it right next to it. More tomato babies. These are my little cucumbers. First time ever growing cucumbers, so it's an experiment, sure. Bell pepper. Jalapeno that I grew from the seed, from one that I ate. These were all grown from tomato seeds, from tomatoes that I ate. Strawberries. Carrots that I grew from seed indoor and just recently transplanted. Never grown carrots, so another experiment. I'm fostering these strawberries currently. This is a jalapeno. I bought this plant already established. Ooh, look, we got a little flower. Wildflower that I just planted from seed to have more pollinators in the garden. These are green beans. I started these indoors and transplanted them, and these I just direct sowed. This is another slicer tomato that I am fostering temporarily. And these were recently transplanted. I was growing the seeds inside. These seeds were taken from cherry tomatoes that I had eaten. And then wildflowers, sage. There's a bluebonnet growing back there. I've got some sunflower seeds out here. I need to weed this part of the garden, but that's okay, one thing at a time. And then these are all of my boyfriend's plants. He cares for them. I just get to look at them and appreciate their beauty. Being a plant mom is fun. It could also be a little challenging, especially because we have these little ants in our garden and I can't quite figure out how to get them to leave my plants alone. And, you know, when they're struggling and they're not doing so well, it just kind of hurts your heart a little bit. It's so rewarding, and nature really, really wants to connect with us. And since we are now in Taurus season, this is such a great time to practice having a green thumb. I know so many of us think that we don't. I certainly didn't come into this world knowing how to care for plants, but it's like anything else. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And you really start to form an incredible bond with them. And it reminds us to slow down and to really take a moment. It's very meditative almost. And it brings so much peace into my life. And it's another part of my routine. And I'm going to call it part of my spiritual routine because it feeds my soul. It feeds and nourishes my body while also feeding my soul. So if you've been thinking about getting into gardening, this is really such a great time to do it. And I'm meaning because we're in Taurus season. Happy gardening!